Good evening, and I'm thrilled to welcome all of you to the 2017 HRO Today Magazine Awards Gala, featuring the CHRO of the Year EMEA Awards and the HRO Today Services and Technology Association Awards. I first want to thank our VIP sponsors, Achievers, Agile One, Alexander Man Solutions, People Scout, and Rideau. Their sponsorship makes this kind of event possible. Okay, it allows us to all come together to celebrate and recognize achievement in the field of human resources. So we're going to be hearing a bit more about all of them throughout the evening. I also want to thank our table sponsors, Capgemini, Korn Ferry Future Step, Cielo, and Cisco. All of our sponsor companies sponsor either the event or the individual tables this evening, but I want to be clear, the sponsors are not involved in any way in the award selection process, okay? I'm Elliot Clark. I am the CEO of HRO Today. We publish HRO Today magazine, HRO Today Global magazine. We are the producers of the HRO Today Forum series. It's the only global event program in human resources. We are also the managers of the HRO Today Services and Technology Association. So, leadership, vision, and innovation are the words that HR leaders are continually using to describe the behaviors they want to foster in others. But HR leaders quietly move the organization and its culture in important directions. That's what you do. They must forge partnerships not only with the chief executive officers or managing directors with whom they work, but all parts of the organization. We will be recognizing these leaders both as a group and with individual awards. Also later this evening, the awards being announced by the HRO Today Services and Technology Association will be presented by my colleague, Zach Misko, the Global Executive Director of the HRO STA. We have a great event over the next few days showcasing thought leadership, research, technology, issue debate, and more importantly, a really big party at a brewery. We also have a bit of a surprise built into the party for your entertainment. Would you guys like to know what the surprise is? If you're interested, raise your hand. Great, come to the party. Anyway, I'm not telling you. All right. Mostly what we at HRO Today hope for you is that you enjoy, learn, have fun, and make new friends. Now, when I think about HR and the past year or so, I have to say this has been a year of odd contradictions. HR topics are in the news headlines. Some of the political headlines from around the world, in many cases, sadly also impact the practice of HR. We should look at some of these issues, but let's have a little fun doing it. Now, I want to warn all of you that are new to my audience that my team always warns me I'm just one joke away from ending my career. So let's see if you witness me crash and burn on the altar of political correctness in front of an HR audience, no less. So first, let's establish I do understand HR, the role of HR. I've been in the practitioner side. I studied human resources at university. I've committed my life to it in one form or another. HR's mission is complex to execute upon, but it's fairly easy to represent graphically, okay? And I'll show you how. So what we do is we strive to attract, deploy, motivate the best possible workforce within the financial parameters of our respective business models. That's it, simple. Chart is simple, right? To every step along it leads to success. But we manage people. People who live in the context of their modern culture. And cultural influences and stresses can make the job of HR harder. And to paraphrase the Beatles, it's getting harder all the time. HR is pulled in many different directions. All of the opposing forces that HR faces arise from the many priorities related to business partnership, benefits management, labor relations, organizational culture. And they all tend to collide around some similar topics worldwide. Recruiting, engagement, and retention are global problems. Everywhere we go, globally, people are talking to us about these. So how do you bring people in quickly and efficiently, train them, and keep them happy? That's the question. It's a big challenge. And one of the biggest problems facing HR today is getting people to work together. Cultural forces outside the walls of our businesses are making that harder. What used to be civil discourse became debate. Now it's turned into argument, and now argument has turned into confrontation. Media organizations such as HRO Today are talking about managing in an era after the quote-unquote death of civility or politeness. You don't believe this lack of civility could be due to bad role models on the global stage, do you? All right, I'm an American, so I've got to own this one. All right, just to be clear. I mean, look at that picture. That's a face only a mother could love. Just not the mother of his own children, okay? It's a problem. But in truth, Trump's not the only one. He's one of dozens of global leaders and social leaders who argue first and discuss later. It's gotten to the point where some people are calling our current times the age of rage. But that actually gets you into a legal problem because of copyright infringement. It's actually the name of an album by a group out of Sweden called Corroded. Okay, so this is Corroded, and if you see these guys at an HR conference, that means things are really changing, right? Okay, we're talking about the age of rage, and here are the guys, all right? So cultural stresses around this lack of civility aren't HR's only challenge. Part of the conspiracy to make our lives more difficult comes from the very governments we try to please and inform. Yeah, tick, tick, tick. The new GPDR Act and Resolution is coming to a nightmare near you in May of 2018. It's going to require new processes around employee record keeping and mobility. It'll also complicate recruitment and candidate relationship management. It will complicate everything, as I understand it. Even this inconvenience, albeit a complex one, doesn't explain the next issue making HR's life a soap opera. That's right. The US doesn't have the only global franchise on crazy election outcomes. I feel like everyone in the UK woke up the next day clutching their empty beer mugs and asked, "We left what, mate?" Okay, so it was hard to understand this decision, and while it's hardly my place as an American to argue the merit of it, we all know it introduces uncertainty, and uncertainty is bad for markets, including the labor market. How will this affect mobility, recognition programs, recruiting, engagement? The answer is, I don't know. Thankfully, strong leadership can supply all the answers that we need. You all didn't think I was just going to crack on America, did you? Did you really? Here's Theresa May taking charge after the Tories won Parliament in the United Kingdom. She's a strong leader with her own powerful and dazzling sense of charisma. So dazzling might be overstating it a bit. Charisma might be overstating it a lot. Actually, the problem is this guy asleep in the audience has no worse idea what's happening than the people seated around him. Now, just to be clear, I didn't want the hometown crowd here in Dublin to feel like we missed anyone. So here's the Irish Parliament. In the most and I'm about to really jump off the ledge here because this guy's really popular. In the most recent national election, the Irish elected a unique new prime minister, or Taoiseach. Did I say that right? Taoiseach? Okay. So that's the Irish term for it, a word that means chief, as I understand it. So Leo Varadkar is the youngest in history at 38. He's openly gay and the son of Indian immigrants. So he's a diversity, absolutely diversity role model. He's been lauded by the world press, and here he is at a photo opportunity. He's great at photo opportunities, I hear. And if you read the local newspapers, which I do read, I read the Independent and the Times before I come over, you discover he hasn't really done much but rack up frequent flyer miles and do photo opportunities. Now, all right, I know he's popular here. In the US, Trump is bragging about how he's good for business. But I also understand from my friends here in Dublin, that the Irish government is really good for business too. I think, you guys didn't think that was funny? Come on. Tell me the truth. When you go to a GDPR session, you're not going to a bar afterwards. You really don't? I would think all of you, after one of those planning meetings, are in some local pub. So I think all governments are actually good for these kinds of business. But, some international headlines are less funny. This is Harvey Weinstein, and this is an HR story, the disgraced Hollywood producer of a number of hit movies, and a sexual predator and a disgusting human being. The Hollywood Academy of Motion Pictures and BAFTA in the UK have both kicked him out. Now, this is an HR story about the damage done by tolerating terrible behavior and the impact on the young men and young women who suffered as a result of it. HR leaders often have to lobby the executive team to do the right thing. And I pointed out in my most recent column in HRO Today, and it's actually on our website, that what's allowed this man to engage in this depravity for over 20 years is when you have special rules for special people, okay? And I think that our role in HR is to be the protection against that. And by the way, the column is on the HRO Today website if you want to read it. He actually abused a number of famous actors, and this is interesting. Rose McGowan, Angelina Jolie, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Ashley Judd. Now, 3 of these actors came from famous families. So no one was immune. It wasn't just the poor and the weak and the people trying to break in. It was anybody. Okay, there are now up to 50 allegations against him, and now there are other people who are also being accused of other things. But historically, the entertainment industry has been male-dominated. As you all know, it's evidenced by, and I don't know if there's anyone here from the entertainment industry. If there is, don't raise your hand. But it's been male-dominated, and it's been evidenced by significant pay gaps between men and women. But in the wake of the outcry over the treatment of women, is the entertainment industry going to change? So I decided to watch a TV interview. So that's not even funny. A bunch of women got abused, and what they do, they went and asked 2 men who weren't involved what their opinion was. Can anyone understand what's wrong with the world? So I guess they're promoting a movie that makes it okay. Now, another challenge for HR is the increasing desire for global mobility and global standards. Employees and candidates, particularly young people, want the experience of living and working in a variety of countries and cultures. This poses new opportunities and new challenges for HR. Notwithstanding that, though, not all the employees may be people that you would want. One of the biggest challenges we'll discuss over the next few days is the global problem of employee retention. People just seem to change jobs faster than we can refill them. But we should also recognize sometimes there are obvious patterns that should alert us. You can't have an HR conference without a Dilbert. Come on, guys. We've all been there, though. We knew that we were going to have a problem, but we always hope for the best. That's actually the nature of HR people. Most HR people have a tinge of cynicism, but a lot of optimism, okay? So one of the questions is whether this lack of employee loyalty, and I'm seeing this in all the literature, including in ours, whether the lack of employee company loyalty is a systemic aspect of the millennial generation. There has been way too much talk about millennials, and mostly by people my age, not by millennials. They never actually wake up in the morning and go, wow, I'm a millennial, do they? Okay? So I keep seeing studies saying they're really good, studies saying that they're no different than we were, and some studies saying they're really awful. Doesn't matter. They are here. Okay? And millennials may be getting a bad reputation. You know, for example, here's a group of them working together as a team. No, they're just emailing each other, but they're working together, okay? All right, my kids do this, by the way, all right? They sit and text, and I'm pretty sure they're making fun of me, and I'm pretty sure that that's correct. But if you're a millennial and you're here, you earned that one because they do live off their devices a great deal. Now, one of the things I keep hearing is that people coming out of school, they don't feel they understand the real world, so here's someone to help explain it. We didn't actually make this meme. We found it online. It's sort of funny, but it's not true. Okay, millennials are actually very talented employees, and we lose sight of that sometimes. They have differences from older generations. They tend to live more out loud, but they are the product of their times. All right, and we're seeing headlines all over the world about workforce and millennials and whatever. They're no different than we were. I'm a baby boomer. I was a product of my times. Gen X, product of their times. And now the next generation that's rising, the next cohort, product of their times. So all jokes aside, we see a lot of cultural change, all right? And we will continue to face new challenges. Albert Einstein once said that the only universal constant is change. And HR has always had to navigate all of these cultural issues and regulatory issues, and HR always will. And HR does a great job. The practice of HR as it exists today is having the most significant impact ever on company strategy. The theme of our conference is HR driving corporate strategy, and we'll talk about that a lot over the next few days. We're going to see some great examples of this in the course of honoring some fabulously talented executives tonight and over the next few days. So I want to thank you for your attention. We're going to take a quick break and clear the salads. We'll be back to give out some awards in just a few minutes. Thank you. All right, so welcome back. I'd like to take a moment to introduce you to one of our sponsors. Some of you heard from him during the VIP reception. As I said, Agile One is one of the top-rated providers of RPO, contingent resourcing management, and the Total Workforce Solution platform. They're also a leading provider of technology for vendor management. They were our hosts during the cocktail reception. As I said, I'd like to welcome their CEO to the stage. Please welcome Peter Carvalho of Agile One.
Thank you, Elliot. Good evening. And for those of you who had the opportunity at the cocktail reception to hear my opening with Andrew Carnegie, I thought I'd let you know that during the recession, he actually sold that business for $250 million. So you now have the complete story there. We're thrilled to be here, tonight with our teams in Europe and most specifically Ireland and the UK, just to be part of this fabulous conference put on by HRO Today. Simply put, Agile One is a total workforce solutions company, and oftentimes we get asked, what does that mean? Total talent management and total acquisition has been where we have spent our time since 1964. And what we enjoy most is creating technology and services to help all of our friends in the HR community satisfy the ongoing challenges that we're all facing today. We're also a terrific ally in global solutions as they're being deployed. Oftentimes, regardless of where the decision is made, the complexity that we all face, particularly those of us here in Europe, to bring those to reality can certainly be a challenge, and we make a fabulous partner and friend in that in helping achieve corporate initiatives while staying true to the legalities that we all face on a local climate. So for those of you who are up for awards tonight, I wish you all the best, and I look forward to getting to know all of you over the next couple of days. So thank you, Elliot.
Yeah, Europe can be a bit complex, we know that, but everyone gets along so well. It's the continent that brought us the 100 Years' War. Anyway, all right, the Dutch and the Brits are now looking at each other going, what was that about? Anyway, all right, so I'd like to take a moment to thank some of the members of the Shared Expertise team. Our editorial director, Debbie Bola, who is the person responsible for our great content to the practitioner audience. Zach Misko, the head of our Zachary Misko, the head of our association services business, will be here later this evening. Zachary, of course, has a cheering section. You've all been emailing with Bill McCrae, our VP of Marketing and the publisher of HRO Today magazine. Bill Lange, who is in the back making me look good by working the slide deck and running AV, is here. Allie Williams, our VP of Business Development and Client Services. Where are you, Allie? He's back there. And also Wendy Kleiner, our Chief Financial Officer, is somewhere back there as well. There's Wendy. And Sharon McEniff, who runs our Asia business, is also back there. And Sharon is here from Hong Kong, and she just got in. She's a good lass. She actually didn't come here. She flew to Edinburgh, had lunch with her mom, and then flew down here to Dublin. So there you go. You're a good girl, Sharon. So will all the Shared Expertise team please stand up so people can see you all at once? So, if any of you have any questions or need help, please ask one of our folks. We are here to ensure you have a great experience this evening and for the next several days. I'd now like to welcome Debbie Bola, our editorial director, to the stage. Debbie, could you join me up here?
Thank you, Elliot, and good evening, everyone. I'm Debbie Bola, the editorial director for HRO Today. Tonight is truly one of the highlights of my year. What an honor to recognize the amazing leaders who are transforming not only the world of HR, but are also making a great impact on their employees, their communities, and their organizations. How often can I say I am in the same room as leaders who innovate teams with a 24-hour breakathon, design a new job architecture to support a 40% growth rate, or lead an HR transformation that helped double company profits? Well, I will tell you it's not often, but I can proudly say it is tonight. So let's all sit back, enjoy, and celebrate the accomplishments of our finalists. Our CHRO of the Year program has been conducted over the last few years in the different regions around the world where HRO Today operates. This has become quite an elite circle of HR leaders. We'd first like to share a brief montage of our prior award winners, many who take part of the selection process and are here tonight. The previous winners of the HRO Today CHRO of the Year award program are... Wow, that's quite a group. Will the prior winners please stand for a round of applause? Now on to 2017. First, allow me to quickly explain the process. HRO Today received more than 46 inquiries or nominations. We then reviewed them and did some background research and cut it down to a group of about 30 nominations. Then our team and referees cut it down to a group we call HR leaders of distinction. From this list of HRO Today HR leaders of distinction, we will announce 4 individual award winners later tonight. Many of the people in this room have been recognized many times already in their careers, and now they can add another one. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the 2017 HRO Today HR Leaders of Distinction. Will you please rise and join me with a big round of applause? Woo! Now the fun part. It is my honor to give you a little background on our 2017 Leaders of Distinction. I'd first like to admit that I am an American and I only speak one language, so there is no way I will say everyone's name correctly tonight, so I apologize to you now. And if I do butcher your name, I'm happy to treat you to a drink at the bar after tonight's festivities to make amends. But based on how many names I screw up, I might be pretty tipsy and apologizing for different reasons later. But I promise to do my best. So let's start with an easy one. Suresh Anabulu. Suresh joined the research services and product firm GVK Biosciences in 2012. The company was in high growth mode, to say the least. During his tenure, they have grown revenue by, get this, 150%, and the workforce by more than 40%. How has he helped make this possible? First, with a new talent management process that created a new job architecture and learning framework that allowed the associates to grow and develop must-have skills. Then the organization took a look at their culture. A core values exercise that is reinforced through recognition and daily email communications to every employee worldwide from HR has helped the organization increase employee engagement. El Kavanagh Loomis. El is HR lead for Cisco in Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and Russia, which spans 13,000 associates in 60 countries. She has been instrumental in sponsoring a number of programs, including a forward-thinking employee well-being program, which has more than 2,000 subscribers. She helped sponsor the 24-hour breakathon, where the ideas followed the sun around Cisco, as she and her colleagues decided to break and re-engineer HR in a fun and collaborative way that led HR to winning the company-wide award for innovation. Innovation is all around Cisco with its Women in Technology program, its award-winning People Leader Cohort communication platform, and its efforts for making a difference in the communities they serve. Antonio Clement. Antonio joined Laureate Universities because he loved its mission of improving the lives of people through education. He leads HR across Europe, Africa, and Asia for the world's largest for-profit education services provider. His task was not easy: to convert the organization from a multi-country decentralized model to a global company with a single culture. Leaders within his organization thought the best way to do this was through HR transformation, and boy, were they right. Antonio and his team have built a shared recognition program aligned to core values, implemented a standard performance management system, and built shared services centers not only for HR, but for all G&A functions. They also streamlined and globalized talent acquisition and learning, successfully completing both a cultural and structural change was instrumental to the company achieving its IPO in January of this year. Ben Dabneth. As head of HR services for Syngenta, Ben Dabneth had the daunting task of overseeing a massive HR transformation to deliver service to 29,000 employees worldwide. As a result, customer satisfaction rates have dramatically improved to record levels. He is now working on a significant technology overhaul to a next generation program, which has been approved by leadership and is about to be launched. Moitza Dometer. Atlantic Grupa, one of the world's largest consumer brand companies, was undergoing a significant merger. The CEO wanted to integrate two disparate companies into one winning culture and knew a great HR leader was needed for this effort. Who better than Moitza Dometer? With the company doubling in size, Moitza set up all new HR processes built around a system aligned to culture and core values. The program was so successful that last year, when a new strategic program was announced, Moitza was named the program manager, the first time any HR leader had that kind of accolade. This was in recognition of her skill not only as an HR leader, but also an effective business partner capable of delivering bottom-line results. Oscar Gonzalez. Oscar Gonzalez has been working on cultural transformation for a Koizen group in Navarre, Spain for several years. He has done so during a great time of stress for their worker unions. And by the way, when Elliot was briefing me for the event, he told me if you have the choice to wrestle a lion or a Spanish union, you take your chances on the lion. So we all know how hard that must have been. However, Oscar was able to successfully close up labor negotiations and get the labor union on board with the sweeping transformation which reduced the number of job descriptions while actually increasing headcount. They developed clear goals and recognition programs for all employees, which has increased both employee engagement and internal promotions. And perhaps most of all, company profits have doubled during this time of transformation. Atko Momachalovic. Luxury car manufacturer Rimac makes the world's fastest supercar. The high-tech manufacturer recognized that there was a lack of opportunity for recent college grads in their native Croatia due to a lack of job experience. So, to enhance their own workforce, positively impact their community, and improve their own graduate recruitment, ACO launched one of the most ambitious mentor and apprenticeship programs. It brings together their business partners and many academic institutions. By doing this, they have also spurred many program participants to look at entrepreneurship, and this, in turn, is improving the local economy. Lynn Rennie Smith. As the head of HR for Ulster Bank for the past year, Lynn Rennie Smith has executed significant change. She was actually brought in as a change agent to reorganize HR and improve workplace culture and employee engagement as well. Prior to her tenure, the bank was enmeshed in the Tracker mortgage scandal, so Lynn has been instrumental in evaluating and recreating the culture that will lead the bank forward into a better future. Alison Rumsey. Alison Rumsey is the head of HR for the infrastructure projects part of the UK National Rail system. This part of the National Rail has control of over 60% of expenditures in capital improvements, such as rails and stations. She inherited an HR infrastructure in need of, frankly, an infrastructure project. She has overhauled performance management, started new programs while discontinuing others, and vastly improved recruiting and retention. She has also implemented a formal organizational review process. And since it's the UK National Rail, their HR projects are always running on time. Vipul Singh. Vipul Singh leads HR for ADP in India in one of the most competitive labor markets in the world. He has executed a comprehensive series of programs aimed at career growth and development. He has improved compensation practices and aligned benefits and incentives to support strategic initiatives. In addition, he implemented a corporate responsibility program to achieve a positive community impact, raise employee engagement, and improve the ADP employment brand. In fact, they have so many programs that his nomination was one of the longest. What was it, Vipul? Something like 9 pages, but I'm just teasing. In fairness, he has done great work, and the proof is in the results. And last, but certainly not least, Andrew Stevenson. When Andrew joined Lookers, he took over an HR group that had no function other than to generate payments to recruiting agencies and issue work release documents. In just 2 short years, he has built what the top employer institute in the UK has certified as a world-class HR organization. The process involved an overhaul of internal recruitment, the creation of a standardized culture across all dealerships, a new incentives and reward program, and a comprehensive training program designed to change the experience not only of their employees, but also their customers. And get this, this is pretty incredible. The cost of building this award-winning infrastructure has been paid for by the savings that are 1.5 times the annual cost. But not to worry, all this work does have benefits. We hear Andrew gets a new car every 11 weeks, something I'm recommending to Elliot to put into our company. In all seriousness, congratulations once again to all of our leaders of distinction, from which we will announce our winners later tonight. Thank you.
Wonderful job, Debbie. I don't make it easy to work at HRO Today, by the way. So when Debbie came up here, she was very nervous about having to say all these easy to pronounce names like Ako Momachalovic, okay? And I'm not sure I'm even saying that right. I better ask Poitza later if I did. Anyway, so on the podium when she came up was a piece of paper that said BOLA, pronounced B-O-W-L-A-H. So, and she didn't even miss a beat. Good job, Debbie. So we all understand the importance of recognition, and that's why we're here tonight, okay? One of the world's most highly rated companies and providers of the awards that you'll all receive tonight is a company called Rideau. It used to be called Rideau Recognition Systems. Rideau, excuse me, they have a groundbreaking product called Vistance Technology. And Vistance allows you to train managers to do recognition more authentically, more effectively, and their pulse survey system allows you to monitor employee engagement in real time and tie your performance award systems into business results. It's a tremendous product. And folks, yesterday I had lunch with their CEO, and he told me how much he cares about making people feel valued. Not enough to know their value, but to feel valued. You could almost say he's all heart, and you'd be right, ladies and gentlemen, Peter Hart, CEO of Rideau. Peter, join me on the stage.
It's an honor to be here this evening, and first I'd like to congratulate all those who've been nominated and all those who will receive awards this evening. It's quite the honor, and it's quite an honor to be in the same room with all of you and all of the tremendous accomplishments that you've done. Elliot, I'd like to say congratulations to you and shared expertise, all of the folks here. You always put on a tremendous, tremendous show, and I can hardly wait to see what the surprise is tomorrow night. I'd like to just say thank you to my own colleagues who are here this evening, and to some of my friends that have come quite a far distance to be here and to speak tomorrow. Steve Richardson, formerly from RBC, Michael Rose, my friend from the UK, thank you very much. My company was a traditional recognition and rewards provider. For many years, I believed it was all about the gold watch and the points and the gift certificates and whatever. And over the years, I've realized it's not about that. It's exactly about what we talked about yesterday. It's about making people feel appreciated and valued for who they are, and making people feel recognized for what they do. I actually believe most companies are wasting their money with the reward programs because they think it's all about the tangible piece, and it's not. It's all about making employees feel valued and appreciated. I think that there's a big problem in our industry because of that. I think we're speaking to the employees in the wrong language. I think it's all about educating managers about how to treat people, treat their employees. And it's really simple. If you care about them, they're going to care about you, and you're going to get better business performance. So thank you for the opportunity of being here this evening. Thank you for the opportunity of sponsoring this event along with some other great companies. Have a great evening this evening, and congratulations all. Thank you.
So Peter is a font of information about this aspect of human resources. One of the things he told me yesterday is in a recent survey, I think it was by the Workplace Institute, and I pulled it up and looked at it last night. They asked the employees, associates of your companies, how important were tangible rewards to rank them in importance. Do you know what percentage ranked tangible rewards, whether it's a gift card or a pin or something like that, as the most important? 6%. Okay, over 75% said actually getting social recognition, actually having someone say, hey, you did a great job. That was more important to them. So think about that. We've given you a lot of information. We appreciate your attention, and you folks have behaved, very, very well. Of course, if you behave badly, who do we complain to? HR. Anyway, it's time for dinner. We're going to be doing some more awards a little bit later on, or rather announcing the awards after dinner. So network amongst yourselves. We'll be back in about 20 minutes or so, and my colleague Zachary Misko will begin the awards presentation with the association awards. Thank you.
My name is Zachary Misko, and it's great to see so many old friends and colleagues, as well as many new faces this year. On behalf of the HRO Today Services and Technology Association, welcome. The Global HR Association is a group of HR executives, thought leaders, and industry experts working in roles as practitioners, providers, and analysts. And while the next several days at the HRO Today Forum will provide an excellent opportunity for our members and each of the forum delegates to participate in great conversation and best practice sharing, the association allows you to continue these actions daily. If you're not already a member of the HRO Today Association, I urge you to do so and keep the conversation, connections, and learning active every month. Tonight, we gather to recognize our colleagues, peers, friends, competitors, and customers for their accomplishments and success in the human resources industry. The theme of this year's event is Be Connected: Technology, Services, and Leaders Unite. We're faced with choices every day about how we connect with our audience, and in some cases, we are defined by them. Our colleagues, employees, customers, the media, analysts, and competitors draw judgment from the voice we choose to use. Today, we will recognize the members of our association who have not only succeeded in communicating their value, influence, and capabilities, but have successfully connected with their audience. Their hard work, dedication to the industry, and ongoing interest in best practice sharing and learning is a testament to their success. Our members and tonight's finalists continue to motivate their teams, their customers, and others in the industry. This year, we encourage companies to submit nominations for awards listed in 3 categories: strategic HR, HR practices, and individual success, and to share their stories about connecting successfully in business. The categories were published in January, and nominations for EMEA were accepted through the 1st of September. A panel of judges then reviewed nominations and confirmed the list of finalists. In 2 of the categories, judges were at a stalemate this year, and voting for those awards was open to association membership to help us break the tie and select a winner. This year marks an all-time high for nominations submitted, with an increase of over 30% from last year. Connection is the energy that is created between great companies, people, and technology. All finalists demonstrate this energy in their industry and in how they operate every day. I will announce the award category and then the winner in each of the 6 categories. When I announce the winner in the first 3 categories, will the person or company representative please stand to be recognized? Winners of the last 3 awards for Business and Recruiting Partnership and the individual HR Superstar Awards will be invited to come to the stage to accept their award and say a few words. All right, so before I begin, let me shift gears for a minute before I announce the winners. And I'd like to tell you about a story about a friend of mine. Let's call him Mike. So Mike walks into his boss's office and says, "Sir, I'll be straight with you. I know the economy isn't great, but I have over 3 companies after me, and I would like to respectfully ask for a raise. After a few minutes of haggling, the boss finally agrees to 7% raise, and Mike happily gets up to leave. And the boss says, wait a minute. Which 3 companies are after you? And Mike turns around, shrugs his shoulders, and says, the electric company, the phone company, and my credit card company. Speaking of raises, tonight's 2017 HRO Today Association Award finalists certainly raised the bar in delivering superior service and excellence in HR. So without further ado, let's begin. Our first category is the Total Rewards and Benefits Excellence. This team's philosophy stemmed from their new service vision, new ideas, more value. The new service vision aims to transform the service mindset of the company and the manner in which the company views innovation. One of the important building blocks that was selected on priority was service reward and recognition. This led to the launch of Inspire, an online rewards and recognition platform that recognizes high-performing individuals and team quarterly and annually. To promote the culture of innovation, they also launched Ignite, an online idea generation engine where new ideas suggested by employees are submitted, evaluated, and then put into practice. With many other programs like career camps, Chairman's Quality Club, promoting diversity and inclusion, Mommy's Junction, Purple Parking, and best-in-class benefits for its employees, this year's winner is NIIT. Congratulations to NIIT, Gotham, and Nimish. And do you have the award? Yeah. Yeah. So, congratulations. Thank you so much. Congratulations. You're welcome. Thank you. Congratulations. Next, the Engagement Strategy Excellence Award. This year's winner has offices in the US, Canada, UK, and Europe, with 50% of their employees working remote, so engagement is crucial. Their CEO has made it a commitment to ensure that diverse workforce feels inclusiveness and is never on an island. One step in this process was the integration of Workplace by Facebook, an internet platform in the vein of Facebook where all employees at all levels have a workplace profile. And through this platform, their people have created hundreds of groups, committees, book clubs, virtual flash mobs, recipe books, and research sharing. In addition, they invest heavily in innovative video technology to ensure meetings, reviews, and the like can be held face-to-face whenever desired. The employees have developed many programs to foster their unique culture, including the Global Wellness Program and a Day to Give Back. The culture and engagement at the company begins with their CEO, who believes in hiring the 10 when it comes to character. This belief has been developed into better people and better business. Specifically, they are committed to finding the most passionate professionals, then helping them develop professionally and personally. Congratulations, Wilson HCG. Thank you. The 10, right? I like it. Thanks, John. Employer Brand Excellence Award. Candidates typically engage with the brand up to 6 months prior to making a decision to apply for a role. With the implementation of a digital candidate experience and the campaigns run using innovative technology, this company's recruitment team now has the ability to engage candidates directly, earlier in the process, and build stronger relationships. To create a better candidate experience, you need to understand your candidates and their behaviors better. This company uses inbound analytics tools to shape and inform the recruitment marketing strategies. To deliver on the objectives, this company even went a little old school, remembering the importance of face-to-face, real, and live connections, and launched a series of owned events, smaller, better crafted networking and recruitment events. Congratulations to the team at Bank of Ireland, Julie Sharp, Kevin Daly, Neve, You know, I'm giving you snippets of what these, the winners have accomplished. So I urge you, go to our website, talk to them tonight, tomorrow, and learn more about some of the great things that they and all of our finalists are doing. There's just so much included in the nominations. It's hard to summarize in this short time. All right. Business Partnership Excellence Award. These companies were nominated for the Business Partnership Excellence Award in recognition of the recent transformation in the way HR is delivered to 29,000 employees across the globe, and the preparations underway for further modernization. The transformation has been driven by their global head of HR services, working closely with the HR provider, and it's achieved phenomenal progress. In just the past 12 months, they've improved HR from almost all angles. To date, the partners have achieved operational excellence by putting the customer at the heart of service, and customer satisfaction ratings have soared to record levels. Satisfaction has increased from 58% to over 85%, while customer complaints have decreased by almost 75%. And that's a good thing. Congratulations to Capgemini and Syngenta teams, led by Ben Debnath and James Eastwood. Please join me on stage to accept your award.
So no speech prepared for this, but as ever with all of these things, this is absolutely a team effort, and I would like to thank my colleagues here at the event, as well as the colleagues back at home, for us achieving this together. Thank you.
Partnership in Recruiting Excellence. The winners in this category have many accomplishments. The key success has been the rollout of a consistent and integrated employment brand, including regional and career-specific landing pages. The cross-regional combined team drove an extensive change management program to build adoption, and this led to dramatically reduced agency spend, best-in-class time to hire, and the rollout of cutting-edge workforce analytics. In Dublin specifically, the partnership between the in-house team and the global talent acquisition team has been integral in establishing an IT research and development center in Dublin. The growth in Dublin has increased the workforce from just a handful of employees to over 100, highly skilled research and development professionals. All this has led to dramatically reduced agency spend, with less than 1% of all hires coming from agencies, a time to offer average of 65 days across all levels, and an interview to offer ratio of 5-to-1 globally. This custom global recruiting process began almost 3 years ago and today supports 20 countries. Congratulations to Equifax and 7-Step. Please join me online.
Okay. Ever the optimist. First of all, thank you very much. On behalf of Equifax, Rob and I are delighted to have been nominated for and to have won this award with 7-Step. This is the result of a great partnership between Equifax and 7-Step, which for us began almost 2 years ago. Starting with just a small core group of people, we were challenged with building a new organization and growing to over 100 people in a short space of time. In these situations, it would be easy to make compromises just to hit targets. But we had a vision for what we wanted to do, the type of people we wanted to hire, the culture we wanted to build. We needed a partner who understood that, who would work with us hand in hand to provide exactly what we needed, and who could be trusted to deliver. Working with 7-Step as a dedicated, trusted partner was new to me, as my previous experience had been using different recruitment agencies, negotiating fees and contracts, and trying to keep track of which candidates came from where. Having a dedicated partner who is essentially part of your business, who is fully integrated, who follows a consistent, shared process, who works hard to understand exactly what you need and to deliver on your expectations has been a revelation. I'd like to thank the 7-Step team here tonight, Coy and James, as well as those we work closely with that are not present, for their hard work and dedication. And I look forward to working with them and building on our shared success as we continue to grow. Thank you.
And now the individual award category to recognize leadership, the HR Superstar Award. This person is renowned throughout the company for her incredible insight, unique perspective, and wonderful sense of fun. She is a passionate champion and role model of authentic leadership and is known throughout the organization for her powerful and inspirational public speaking style. She is a courageous leader who masters the art of demonstrating vulnerability and who excels at conflict resolution. She is an advocate for calling situations as they are and a powerful influencer of the executive leadership teams around their style and delivery of message. She has created many company programs, for instance, Breaking to the Future of HR, Women in Technology, and People Leader Cohort. She leads the business partnering, local operations, and Center of Excellence support to all functions within the region, spanning 13,000 employees across 60 countries. Please join me in congratulating Elle Cavanaugh-Lomas, Cisco's VP of Human Resources and Mayor. As Elle is making her way to the stage, I want to tell you about her giant mic interviews, because I thought that was a really cool program, Elle. So Elle wanted to showcase the real people behind the senior leadership team roles and had an idea to use an inflatable giant microphone and conduct one-on-one interviews with their senior leaders, asking questions submitted by team members, and each senior leader had to take a selfie and select a piece of motivational music. Pretty cool. The sessions are transcribed and videoed, and it's just another great example about the initiatives Elle has instituted to enable stronger community feel in the company. So, Elle, join me on stage, and you know what I'm thinking? I've got a microphone. It's not a giant inflatable microphone. And I think I've got my cell phone here. Oh. So we could take a selfie. But I know you also do music, right? I could try and get us some music. Congratulations, Elle.
Thank you so much. I totally didn't expect to be here, so I totally didn't prepare a speech. But I just want to, I think we've got a really hard job in HR today. I think Elliot started off by summing up how hard it can be. You know, we're trying to manage data and analytics, manage the law, reduce cortisol, increase dopamine. We're on every little bit of the employee experience. And I think for me, the opportunity that I've had for the last 8 years at Cisco, where I joined by acquisition, not through choice, has been the best 8 years of my career, I say so far, but has been truly amazing. And the only reason that it's as amazing as it is A, because of the opportunities. I promise you the giant mic's a lot cooler than it sounds. And also because of my amazing team, who I would be absolutely nothing without. So this is for them. To the best HR team, of which at least 11 of them are here tonight. So thank you, gang. Thank you so much.
Congratulations to all the nominees, finalists, and winners who worked tirelessly to connect to the issues and provide solutions that advance the HR industry. Nominations for our 2018 Association Awards open in December, so start thinking about who you know that deserves the recognition. Winners, please meet me at the end of the gala for photographs, and dinner will be cleared, and Elliot will be back on stage shortly to continue the program. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your evening.
So we announced earlier that, this year, we've honored and designated a group as leaders of distinction. Okay, so they have already won a process that goes through a review internally, first by, the nomination comes to our research team where it's vetted, and then the research team will go through, pull LinkedIn profiles, pull I mentioned earlier, pull every article about that somebody's written or where they've spoken. If we can get, those clips, we'll pull that. We have a little fun with Google Translate, trying to figure out what people were saying. But, nonetheless, we go and do an extensive amount of background work, and then it goes to an editorial team supported by our academic partner at the Wharton School, and we evaluate and pick for HRO Today, leaders of distinction. Then the next step is the Leaders of Distinction group is sent to prior year award winners, what information that we have primarily from their nominations, not necessarily our background package. And many of the people who are here tonight, you saw the slideshow and whatnot, are prior year award winners. And they continue to take part in this community, for which I'm very grateful, and help present the awards the following year. And they are the voters. So we're going to go through a few more sponsors to hear from, and we're going to start doing the individual awards. But that's the process. So I want to highlight for everyone tonight that this award is not from HRO Today. This is a peer-to-peer recognition program. So this award comes from other HR leaders who have already won, who've already distinguished their careers, who get together and cast the votes that actually make up tonight's individual award winners. So one of the things we think that aspect, that peer-to-peer recognition aspect of it is very, very important. I just wanted to highlight that this evening for you. So before we get to the first award of this evening, I'd like to introduce all of you to another one of our sponsors. Alexander Mann Solutions is one of the largest providers of workforce services in the world, providing HR and executive leaders a host of solutions from employment brand management to technology consulting to talent strategy consulting, as well as operating the recruiting departments for some of the world's largest brands, such as Rolls-Royce, Vodafone, Credit Suisse, and Bank of America. They also have so many life science clients, I can't even begin to list all of them. AMS has been ranked in the top 5 companies on our RPO Baker's Dozen list every year since we started it. So they have been in the top 5 every year. So unfortunately, please applaud for AMS. We're going to have an improvisation here because the AMS executive who was supposed to be here, who's a native Dubliner actually, Joe Feely, has an illness in her family. I did have a joke about, in HR, we're not in favor of people being touchy-feely unless it's Joanne Feely, but Joanne's not here. So filling in for her on an impromptu basis is Stephen Leach. I can't make fun of the name because that would sound bad. Who is the sector head and the head of the Americas. And Steve appears very demure tonight, but the last time I was with him was at Etihad Stadium during an Arsenal game. he was less demure. I just want you to know that. Steve Leach.
Thank you, Elliot, and congratulations to all tonight's nominees and award winners. Great turnout, great results all round. And thanks, Elliot, and the rest of the HRO team for putting on tonight's event. It's a great opportunity to reconnect with old friends, new faces, but fundamentally like-minded individuals. And as Elliot just stole my thunder, the eagle-eyed of you will realise that I'm not Joe Feely in the brochure. But I have been working on my best Irish accent for the last 20 years, actually, we're kind of a business that's run by the Irish Mafia. But so this, it's true, right? It's true. Yeah. So this year sees us celebrate our 11th year of being recognised as one of the top 4 RPO providers in the Baker's Dozen. And over that period, we've worked with Elliot and the team at HRO on a number of thought leadership pieces, driven by really a shared passion to disrupt, to drive things forwards. And then Elliot talked in his opening speech, and I think a few others have recognised it. The pace of change in our industry is really starting to pick up. Lots of factors affecting us, which caused us at AMS about 12 months ago to start to think about how we would address that. And we've published a magazine to really start to deal with some of the thorny issues. And we've just issued our second edition. Some great speakers from Ariana Huffington, Alain de Botton, Lawrence Collins from Deloitte, some really kind of meaty subjects that the guys have grappled with. So I'd shipped in a number of copies to give to all of you guys tonight. And the magazine's in the hotel somewhere, but a little bird told me that Elliot found out that we'd started publishing the HR magazine, and curiously, no one can find these magazines now. They're in my room. They're in your room, yeah. So good luck to all the nominees where the awards haven't been announced. Have a great evening, and I'll look forward to meeting you all over the next 24 hours or so.
Thank you. Please welcome to the stage Joanne Marshall, Director of HR and Organizational Development for the University of Bradford. Joanne is also a 2015 CHRO of the Year Award winner for nonprofit.
Good evening, everyone, and once again, well done to everyone who's a finalist tonight. Each year, this award recognises extraordinary performance in HR, and I was very proud to win this award a number of years ago for the not-for-profit sector. Tonight, I've been asked to present the award for a special recognition category around innovation. Some forms of innovation are about new technology. Others are around new service lines or organisational processes being redefined. This year, we want to recognise someone who has innovated through HR management philosophy, but particularly the way this individual has tied the business of HR into the business itself. It has become part of the business's DNA. This individual has turned HR on its head. They have changed the operation in less than 2 years and figured out how to pay for it all by reviewing and understanding the organisational cost of turnover, understanding the organisational cost of the unfilled positions, and also the paid time off. Using these metrics and speaking the language of a business, he got unprecedented executive support to recreate not only HR but the entire company culture. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very pleased to announce the winner of the HRO Today magazine this year's award for special innovation is Andrew Stevenson from Lookers PLC. We're now going to play a brief video of Andrew.
I think at this point I'm supposed to be humble and say it's all about the team, but I'm conscious this room is full of recruiters. So the team are awful, and culturally they wouldn't fit anywhere else at all. It actually comes in a really good week for me, this, because I don't often do this, but in the last week I've helped my 16-year-old son with his business studies homework. And part of the case study was HR. And when the marks came back, apparently none of the stuff we had suggested would work. So I'm quite pleased to say that, do you know what it just does in reality? In all seriousness, I certainly didn't expect this. When I joined the car industry, everyone told me it was different, and things that had worked in other businesses just couldn't work in it. But I've always believed that people are the heart of every business, even in these days of automation and of jobs being outsourced. The reality is, you try coding a program without a person. You try adding up the numbers without a person. The reality is, people are the heart of every single business, and this trophy is for every one of the people at Lucas. Thanks very much.
So I want to tell you a quick story, because I think it's a tribute to the culture of HR people in the industry in general, even the recruiters that Andrew just disrespected, I might add. So Andrew's company, Lookers, had signed a deal with an RPO provider. And when he arrived, he decided that he wanted to change a few things and do things a bit differently. So he decided not to go through with the deal. Okay, that company came back about a year later to try to resell him, and he explained all the things that he had done and all the improvements that he'd made. And that company's Wilson HCG. They were so impressed by what he did, and by the way, humble enough about the fact that he'd rejected him, that they actually nominated him for this award. So I want to congratulate Wilson HCG for having a great culture. That's a great story. All right, so I just lost my spot. There we go. All right, so we all know that building and the most engaged and capable workforce is everyone's goal in the room tonight. All right, we have an odd conundrum going on. We have a growing world population and a globally expanding economy. We have more people than ever on this planet, but there's actually a shortage of talent. And we're all experiencing that, right? So when you think about it, people usually don't juxtapose the fact there are more people and more of a talent shortage, but it does exist. Lots of reasons for that, and we're not going to talk about those tomorrow and the next day, not in the context of an award show. But to compete for the very best talent, you need to choose great partners. They can help you not only with execution, but strategy, technology, and play the role of and we've heard the term tonight, trusted advisor. So People Scout is such a firm with a global footprint, host of capabilities, and the capacity to help you design the programs you need to achieve the optimum workforce. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage Michael Yinger, the Global Leader for Growth and Strategy for People Scout.
Good evening. I'm Mike Yinger. I lead growth and strategy, which means that I'm responsible for making sure that we grow. It's an interesting opportunity for me. I want to thank Elliot and the HRO Today team. It's a wonderful event, and we're very glad to be a part of it, and we enjoy this event every year. We're talking about be connected. So in the context of connection, I'd like to share with you some things that we're doing to enable the connection between the workforce and our clients. And we've heard already tonight, the millennials, among others, they're looking for something different. They're looking for a different kind of experience in terms of how they connect with the employer. And so we're pleased to announce that we're going to be launching a technology platform Wednesday. You'll be able to see it on Wednesday, that will enable a artificial intelligence consumer-like experience for the candidate, allowing the candidate to go through the job process, as we all do when we're dealing with the consumer experience, which is so dominant. Now, what's different about this is that we're taking the best practices that are in place today, the best technologies that are in place today, putting those together into a platform that will allow not only the candidate but also the hiring manager to have a more seamless process and a more positive experience as they go through what it takes to become onboarded in one of your companies. So starting Wednesday, big social media blitz, you'll see that. We'll have a press release. We'll even have a video. If you're really good, you might see me in it. Just a short cameo for me. But this is a big initiative on our part, recognizing what does it take to enable the experience of the job seeker in today's environment. We've heard shortage of people, shortage of talent. How do you find the right people? How do you connect them with the right organization? This is all part of our commitment to deliver what you need now as we prepare for what's coming next. And finally, I'd like to recognize all of the award winners tonight and say congratulations on the part of People Scout. It's truly an honor to be in your presence. What you've done and what you represent is a great part of our industry. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Please welcome to the stage Nigel Sullivan, Chief People Officer for BUPA. Nigel is also a 2016 CHRO of the Year Award winner.
Thank you very much. Can't believe a year has gone past so quickly. What a year it's been. What I wanted to do was in terms of this particular area, clearly many of us from the commercial side of life, are trying to manage the HR tasks along with cost, along with transformation, and it's quite a difficult balance, as we all know. And our CHRO for profit this year has really done that, simultaneously really trying to manage those things as well as justifying the HR programs in terms of budget and other day-to-day challenges. So our winner tonight comes from a company where they had all of these challenges. And what they've done is restructured job families, recreated definitions for performance management, recognition, reducing management layers and complexity, building new training programs around new job-specific competencies. And on pretty much every metric measured upon, workforce engagement and performance has increased, albeit through some very difficult labour negotiations at the time as well, and also underpinning all of that, and I'm sure contributing to it, the company has really improved profit, which has doubled in a 2-year time frame. This effort has clearly been instrumental in helping to develop that company performance. So they did all of this, as I said, while working in very difficult labour negotiations. So the winner of the HRO Today magazine of the CHRO of the Year for profit is Oscar Gonzalez from Askren Group.
Thank you especially for our employees, because change management, what we are trying to boost in our company, is done by them. We help them with the policies, with the will to do this day by day. It's being inspiring by these events, like people like you, who help us to understand that crisis management that we have in 2012 wasn't the destiny for all of us in the company and in our community. Then it has been done by our employees, of course, with a strong team in HR, and is here with me someone who has inspired us. Inspiration by facts, supporting, advising. Ricardo, thank you very much.
So I want to congratulate Oscar and everyone at the Ethcoin Group and all of our winners thus far. And Andrew Stevenson, thank you for the offer to get me a car if you want an award. I deeply appreciate you playing by the rules. Now you've been, I want to remind everyone that after the ceremony, we need everyone up here to take a brief photo opportunity so we can run it in the magazine and make sure that other people know about your accomplishments. I also, I want you to think about how it feels tonight. How it feels tonight to be in the field of human resources. Whether you're a practitioner, an HR director or a CHRO, whether you're in one of the other related functions, whether you're a service company, because whether you're in service or you're inside the shop, whether you're in a service provider, everyone is servicing the same person, who is the employees, the executives, the shareholders, et cetera. We all have, a common enemy, and we are all common allies, okay? I want you to think about how it feels to be in HR tonight and how proud you all, and we all should be, of the work HR is doing as you hear these stories. So think about that, because on the tough days when you're in a labor negotiation, as Oscar's been for 2 years, I might add, or you're having a hard day with executives or change management, that feeling sustains you, that feeling of pride that you have now. So you have been a great audience, and like you tell your children, dessert is a reward, and you've earned it. So we're going to take a break and serve coffee and dessert, and be back in a few minutes with our final awards of the evening. I hope you all enjoyed dessert and an opportunity to chat amongst yourselves. We have a few more awards to go through, so we're going to get right to it. But first, I just want to say tonight as we are engaging in an elaborate night of recognition, and we are recognizing greatness in human resources. I think that what we do is so important because if you think about it, people spend more waking hours at work than they do at home, at least 5 days a week. So think about the social impact and the role HR plays, by the way, in social progress. And I speak about that a lot at conferences. So we impact the quality of people's lives, their happiness, every aspect of their life. And when you think about people, and we talked about recognition earlier, you can't imagine people at home over the kitchen table at night after a hard day at the office going, it's really hard at work. People say too many nice things about me, okay? All right? They keep complimenting my performance. It's uncomfortable. But I don't really think people have that conversation. We all know that people want positive and authentic recognition. All right, that's what we do. HRO Today does for HR leaders. I'd like to introduce another one of our sponsors who helps companies do it for their associates. Achievers is one of the largest providers of recognition services and technology to support recognition service providers. And for the past 10 years, they have been one of the most highly ranked companies on the HRO Today Baker's Dozen and ranked #1 this past year. By the way, we have #1 and #2 in the room. So Rideau is #2, so you've got the top providers in the world here. So Achievers is the top-ranked company in the world and has an incredible platform. And I know many of you are wondering about your recognition program. Will it impact engagement? Will it make a difference? Will it? So we'll have to ask Willett herself, Denise Willett, Achievers Senior Director of EMEA, to the stage. Where is Denise Willett? There you go. Have a little fun.
Okay. Can I close this? Without really? Okay. I am standing. Clear, table 6. There's been so much talk tonight about generations and millennials, and I've been recently having a little bit of an identity crisis myself because I've been told that I'm not actually a Gen Xer, I'm an Xennial. So if you don't know what that is, I encourage you to look it up, and I think it brings for us some bad news and some good news. I think the bad news is it gives us more work to do. We have to figure out what this generation is, or this subculture. The good news is it gives us an entirely new generation for us to overanalyze. So let's get to it. Bit of a joke, guys. I think there's some talk about that, but still trying to figure it out myself. It's such an exciting time to be part of the HR world. There's a huge amount of transformation, and technology-wise, and we live in an on-demand world. We want to work globally, as Elliot had talked about earlier. You know, candidates want all of these amazing opportunities in the workforce, and there also is so much transparency. So I've been asked a lot lately when I'm interviewing candidates, what is your culture like? And I know that they already know. They've been on the internet and checking this out. It is so important for us to focus on our people, and we've all known that for many, many years. And it's so exciting to see all of the award winners and nominees and the discussions about that large transformations that have been happening in employee engagement. And we at Achievers are so excited to be part of that and participating in helping employee engagement and helping employees feel great at work through recognition. And as Elliot mentioned, we've had a long-standing partnership with HRO Today, more than about 10 years or more, and we're very excited about that. And excited to be here today and a proud sponsor, so please stop by. Come see Mark and Chase and myself, Denise, at our booth and have a conversation. We'd be delighted to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Please welcome to the stage Charlotte Sword, Global HR Director for Fosters and Partners. Charlotte is also a 2016 CHRO of the Year Award winner for Sustainable Workforce.
Good evening, everybody. Really pleased and honoured to be back again this year to be part of this celebration and present this award. This category is for the HRO Today magazine CHRO of the Year Award for Sustainable Workforce. This is a particularly, I think, important award for me because it's how you work within workforce strategy and planning and building programs that build a real competitive advantage and really help the organisation. So when you're in a services industry where the calibre of the workforce determines success, everything has to be geared around attracting and retaining top talent, and I think that's something we all agree with. Especially when the individuals you're looking for are some of the most sought-after experts in the world. To add to the challenge would be looking for these experts in one of the world's most competitive labour markets. Our winner tonight had to be creatively build a workforce that allowed his company to grow revenue by 120% and the headcount by 40% in the last few years. This was accomplished by many of the things that we would expect, such as recreating roles, defining competencies, and changing the training programs and managing culture. They did a vision and a values exercise that helped identify and define new values and reinforce old ones. Perhaps what they most point to is clearly articulating two unique selling propositions for new employees and existing employees. One is the opportunity to interact with many different scientific programs each year, something that is not common in the life sciences industry. The second unique selling proposition is the opportunity for more junior staff to be mentioned and work with top flight talent that is already there. These 2 points really add significant impact to the employment brand. The HRO Today magazine CHRO of the Year for Sustainable Workforce is Suresh Anabulu of GVK Biosciences.
Good evening. I'm humbled, thrilled, excited to receive this award in front of all of you. I would like to thank you, Shared Expertise, HRO Today magazine, for creating this platform that brought all of us together, interact together, share best practices, and we can continue these conversations further. Only one thing that motivates me on a morning when I wake up is one quote from Jim Collins in Good to Great book. It says that the companies which cultivated deep cultures and core values has given 6 times more returns to the investors than the rest of the company is one of the important point he mentioned there. That is the source of my energy. That's the source of when I wake up, something I can put some discretionary effort in the company is we spend a lot of time on skill upgradation, competency upgradations, rest of the things, many things you call global job architecture and recruitment, leadership, and all other things. But when I ask one question to my key leadership team on one of the meeting, tell me what is, in the last 30 years you are working, what is the average percentage you foresee on teamwork, empowerment of individuals in past all the companies, including GVK Biosciences. For my surprise, they tell me that this value, the rating of these values in all the companies, including GVK Bio, not even one core value, they really, when I ask tell me truth, keep the hand like this and say 30%, 40%. Then I said, if this 30% of teamwork goes to 70%, what will be the organization performance? If the empowerment is 25% in your experience or observation, if this empowerment goes from 20%, if employee take the ownership and start doing activities to 50%, what will be the organization performance? They all say that the revenues in 1 year, it will double, triple. But why we are not doing it? If values are so fundamental, the drivers of engagement and performance, why can't we focus on that than focusing on the rest of the programs? So that's what I did, created a value and vision for that organization, job architecture. And thank you once again for HRO Today for giving me this opportunity to be with you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Please welcome to the stage Arnie Christian von der Tang, SVP of Human Resources for TomTom International.
Good evening, everyone. I was looking at Zach earlier tonight, and I thought, how does he do it? How does he read from a paper without glasses on? And then I saw that actually he has about 6 words on one piece of paper. So I'm sorry, I have to do this because I want to get this right. So good evening, everyone. We all know that in the world of human resources, things move fast. We deal with people problems, people expectations, people challenges, but most of all, people potential. How can we, as business professionals, have impact, or as this conference is titled, drive business strategy? Our last award for this evening is for lifetime achievement. The award can be defined a long record of consistent achievement in HR and a history of positive impact via several organizations. Now, our winner tonight is an excellent example of this kind of ongoing success. She worked on cruise ships when she was young, or maybe I should say when she was younger. When she was young sounds quite negative. So she could see the world. She moved into the business world in selling in sales, selling CRM software, and then into management of customer care departments, before a search firm audited her company, and their recommendation to the CEO was that she would move into HR. She had to start up the HR department with no HR experience whatsoever herself, which in my book, I must say, actually is the best way to start an HR department. She made this into a successful part of the company. She then moved back to her home city and joined a pharma company, and once again built a vibrant HR program that was recognized as one of the strong suits of her employer before she was recruited personally by the CEO of a local FMCG company. Since moving from that to that firm 6 years ago, she has overseen the transformation of the business and evaluation in the impact of HR. She oversaw the creation of a brand new company culture by selecting the best parts of the cultures of the two legacy firms that combined to form her current company. She is now so well respected, not only as an HR leader, but as a strategic executive, that she was selected to coordinate their latest company-wide strategic program. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2017 HRO Today magazine CHRO of the Year Lifetime Achievement Award. It's quite a long title, but there you have it. It's a big win. Goes to Mojca Domitar of Atlantic Grupa.
Okay. I have to say that I did not expect this to happen, really. I mean, I did not expect to win any nomination, but then after hearing all of the nominations before, and when I saw the title of Lifetime Achievement, I was envisioning somebody, you know, a bit more senior. Or somebody who really, you know, a lifetime seems like such a long time. That I really did not see this coming. So I have to say that I really appreciate this award, and I think it would be a great message also back in Atlantic, even though I really think that they truly appreciate the contribution of HR as a strategic function now. And this is only going to be an additional proof that this is really happening. And since majority of my team is actually in the countries that are not of such a big interest to you, I can really say without fear of anybody stealing them that all of this would not have happened if not for the great people that really built an amazing HR as a strategic partner in Atlantic Grupa. And I'm sure that you are doing the same, and thank you again for all of this. Thanks.
So I do have to comment on one thing that Arne Kristen said, which was about the font. And I want to say that was one of my innovations, so I don't want to blame Zach for that. If you could see the teleprompter that I'm using, which is actually just an iPad with running software, truth is that we refer to this, or at least my staff refers to it as old fart font, okay? Because it's literally like, you know. Anyway, congratulations to Mojca and to Suresh and all the other winners tonight. Okay, we've learned a few things. I think that are important. I want to take away from it. Denise Will just talked about being an exennial. Does anyone know what that is in the room? I'm hoping to get younger, which would make me an ex-baby boomer. Okay, is that how that works? Like, can I move backwards through the generations? I'd love to be a millennial again, you know, because I already know all the cool places to drink. So, and then El Cavino Lomas, you know, taught us the two words that should be the calling card for HR. Does anyone know what that is? More dopamine. And that sounds dangerous, I don't know, but I think more dopamine is always in order. So it's been a wonderful evening. We work so hard as a group. I'm not talking about HR today, I'm talking about you. We work so hard to recognize achievement in others. It is fabulous to spend an evening recognizing HR. So I would like to, again, thank our VIP sponsors, Achievers, Agile One, Alexander Mann Solutions, People Scout, and Rideau. They are all great companies and certainly worthy of your attention and perhaps your business. Everyone who was honored here tonight are great examples of what HR can do and is now doing. I talked about this earlier at a networking meeting, that when I finished my university study in HR and got my diploma, which came on a stone tablet in those days, HR was, I didn't like what my career would have been. I was fascinated by the study, but I realized it was then really an administrative and risk avoidance compliance profession. That's HR 30 years ago. Now think about the stories we just heard, okay, and how much HR has evolved in that time frame. All right, we just saw an endorsement video from the CEO of the company at Atlantic Grupa, and by the way, Moit, so when we were finished our conversation, my memo back to my team was one word: wow. Okay, you've done some amazing things. But the CEO talking about how important HR is to the success of the company, to have that kind of recognition, how far we've come in one generation, or in my case, maybe 3 at my age. Anyway, we have a great event to celebrate HR's impact on organizational strategy and its significant contribution to success. For the next few days, we're going to highlight the importance of HR, new opportunities in both process and technology to help our respective employers to achieve success. I want to thank you for your time and attention this evening, and I look forward to spending the next few days with you. Have a great evening.